Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and we're going to get straight into our explosive penny stock watch list. So the first stock we're looking at here today is HUMBL on the daily time frame. And we mentioned last week that we did get some very bearish price action to close out the week, and we did expect to see more downside pressure. Today we opened up being down 36%, so we got absolutely demolished today. Our RSI is at a 30, so we are almost oversold here, which is a good sign. We should start to see some sympathy movements back up. On a technical level, we did close below 2 levels of support, which was very tough to see. We really want HUMBL on this uptrend right here. This uptrend again gives us confidence that HUMBL is on a strong uptrend. However, if we continue to trade down to these levels, there are 2 more levels of support that we are watching. We have one here at $1.32, and then we have one here at around 91 cents. And so these are all levels that I am watching, but right now the first thing we need to do is try to get this gap filled here to the upside and see if we can maintain our price action above this point. Because our RSI here is so low, I do expect to see some movement to the upside. Overall, HMBL is a long-term hold for me, and if we actually get very close to my average cost, I'll be very excited. So I do have a HUMBL here at 58 cents, and so if we get back to those prices, I will be adding a lot more to my position. And another thing just to mention is during this entire uptrend for HUMBL, we have not seen our RSI get down to this level 30, and so now that we are at this point, I do expect us to bounce back very aggressively tomorrow. But in general, I just think we needed to get our RSI to this level just for a cool down. And so at this point, we could start our next level up. And this could be our short-term bottom for the next level up. And so I'm excited to see what HUMBL does. Cryptos are still firing on all cylinders and revenue is starting to come in. I know a lot of people who are using HUMBL Pay and they're actually yielding a decent return in just a short period of time they've been using it. Again, they're based off DigiByte, and DigiByte is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of just this crypto success. And so overall, everything with HUMBL is still amazing. We launched the app. The app is very nice. A couple things that I did not like about the app is how slow it was working. It did seem like there was a lot of just delays happening. It took a while for the email to get to my account. And so overall, these are fixes that a startup is going to have to deal with. And as shareholders, we are going to have to be patient with the company, because again, if you are long and strong like I am with HUMBL, there is no fears. There's just opportunities to buy on the dip. Biggest thing right now, we need to get back above this level of support. And so at that point, then we could have a nice strong uptrend and maybe a part 2 to everything that we have seen so far. And in my opinion, I love to see the RSIs get to this level, because these do show very nice buying opportunities to load up for the long term. And I know I've been saying buy this stock. I am biased. I believe that years down the line, these are going to be extremely cheap prices that we're looking at, even if you did end up buying here at $7.60. Next stock of the day, we're looking at IGEN on the daily time frame. So IGEN was down another 10% today, and so this was a very tough day considering we had a nice bullish hammer close. We did expect to see a reversal, but there's one thing that I want to mention right here. So this is the accumulation over distribution indicator right here. And so for me personally, this indicator is here because I want to show you guys the divergence of the stock price and this indicator. So as this has been going up, this has been letting us know that there has been accumulation of these shares. But if we look at our share price has been going down, as well as our RSI. And so this divergence right here to our share price actually makes me even more confident on IGEN. And so at these levels, I have been buying. I did buy some more today. I do expect IGEN to find a bottom here at 0.0075. But overall, our RSI is still going down. We could still see lower lows here, but because we have this accumulation going, I'm more confident on IGEN. This accumulation could just personally be me. I've been accumulating this stock for the last week and a half, and so this could just be me buying up the shares. But overall, this looks very solid to me. I like this divergence that we're seeing. Again, I still have a short-term price target of 0.0368. And so at that point, we will be making a decision on what to do with the stock. Until then, I am going to continue to buy, load up, average down, and just continue to ride out this fear. Next stock of the day, we're looking at Social Life Network. WDLF also continues to go down. And just for reference, you can see this stock has been a lot more steady, but with a downward trajectory, which means we've been seeing a little bit more distribution here rather than accumulation. However, we are still above this point right here, which is good to see. But if we look at our RSI that's almost oversold. Everything is pointing to a downtrend, and right now we are on a level of support. We did close down below it. Again, I did draw out this wedge because we could see some price action as low as 006 at this point, which would be a nice buying opportunity. And so this is kind of what we're watching. This is the setup that we have here for WDLF. We shouldn't see too many more down days. We should expect to see some sideways trading, at least to let our RSI get back up to normal levels, because at this level we haven't seen an RSI this low since about August, and so at this point we are getting that cool off, and we would love to see a bounce at these points. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SEGI on the daily time frame. So SEGI has been performing very well, up about 4%, closed above a very critical level of resistance that we need to treat as support. However, I do think SEGI will flirt with this price range and this triangle right here until about June, and then at that point we may start to see a bigger move. But because we closed above this level of resistance, that was extremely bullish. Our RSI looks like it could be going up. And so right now is not the worst time to be in SEGI. It does seem like it's holding this uptrend very nicely. Our accumulation is very steady here. So solid performance here with SEGI. Next stock of the day, we're looking at MJNA on the daily time frame. So we were up 15% today, and that was mainly because of the Safe Bank Act that will be getting voted on this week. This Safe Bank Act is going to be extremely bullish for the cannabis industry if it gets passed, and so this little run-up was in anticipation of that vote. And so if we do get that bill passed, that will be extremely beneficial and very progressive here for the cannabis industry, which is why we saw the likes of MJNA, SNDL, a lot of these go up today. Let's see if we can build on this momentum for MJNA. We are still at a level where I would personally be buying, but on a trading basis, we are not getting in until we break and back test this level of resistance right here. Next stock of the day, looking at SNDL on the daily time frame. And so again, SNDL up 11%, after hours up again. We were on this uptrend right here, and you can see we broke down from here. We got our back test, we got rejected, but now we are starting to make our way up. You could see we had nice accumulation right here. We had very nice movement here after our RSI was almost oversold. And so if I just add our MACD here, you could see our MACD looks like it could potentially be crossing over if we get very nice green days this rest of the week. And so if this Bank Act gets passed, I think that is a very nice buying opportunity, and you will see SNDL absolutely explode if it does. And so right now we are in anticipation of that. If we break past this line, it would be a very nice entry position on SNDL. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ALYI on the daily time frame. Nothing really crazy here. You could see we've been trading sideways. We've had nice accumulation right here on ALYI, which is why this is going to be a sleeper. But right now, because we are below a level of resistance, we are still not going to be getting in. Our MACD is still slightly bearish here, and we could see some more downside on the RSI. And so key level here on ALYI is this level of resistance. We need to break and back test if we want to hold and ride this out. Next stock of the day, looking at HYSR on the daily time frame. So Sun Hydro is down about 5%. I broke this chart down as basic as I could here with a simple uptrend line, and so this is where we are looking to find support on HYSR. This does seem very reminiscent to a Head and Shoulders, which could lead the price action a lot lower in the short term. If we look at our MACD has crossed over again to the downside, which is extremely bearish. We've seen a lot of distribution here on our indicator, and our RSI is near oversold levels. And so overall with HYSR, this is not a play that I see myself getting into anytime soon. I may play this as a sympathy bounce at certain points, but as of right now, this is definitely not a stock that I would personally want to be in. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ACDC. We were down about 11% today, but this stock again follows a very simple pattern. We have an uptrend line right here that we've back tested once and twice here. This is when we filled our gap. We saw that extraordinary buying come up, but then we did close out today back in our wedge. And so I expect ACDC to trade until about April 26th at these levels, and then at this point we could have a breakdown or a breakout, and so at that point we will see better indication of where we want to go. But right now we are at a stagnant phase. You can see our accumulation is quite steady here. Next stock of the day, looking at HITIF on the daily time frame. So again, HITIF was up today following that Safe Bank Act. You could see we are now back in to our little wedge here, which is extremely bullish. And so I do expect high tide to trade sideways till about June 3rd. I think we will get a back test on this level, and it will come around this point. And so overall with high tide, you could see our RSI was extremely low. We did start to get that bounce up. We would love to see our MACD cross over, but we're going to need a lot more good news to pull that up. We have seen a little bit of distribution and not too much accumulation right now with high tide. And so overall, if they continue to dilute their shares, this stock is going to go down. We still have a gap to fill at this level of support here at around 31 cents. So I am still very patient here on high tide. Next stock of the day, we're looking at STAF on the daily time frame, and STAF is looking quite intriguing to me right now. We were down 8%. We are on a very crucial level of support. You can see we've been tracking STAF price on this uptrend within this pattern right here since the bottom, and now we broke down from this pattern, and now we are holding a level of support that does coincide with a support that we've seen a long time ago. And so this is going to be a very tough support to break from. You could see we have slight divergence here. We've seen a lot better accumulation instead of distribution. We have our RSI that is oversold, and so we should see a bounce, and I think we will get that bounce tomorrow. And so overall, I think these are prices where you would love to be getting into STAF. This is a very solid level of support and a very nice level of entry. Again, I was looking at the stock at $1. The stock is now at 60 cents. And so just in terms of value, you are getting a solid price play here on STAF. In terms of technicals, we are still on an uptrend. Overall, STAF looks like a quick trade in my opinion. Our RSI is looking too low. We would love to see a bounce very soon. If we get another red day tomorrow, I will be getting into STAF for a trade, just for a sympathy bounce, because we got to get our RSI a little bit back. But I think that is going to happen tomorrow. There you guys have it. That was our quick little update on our explosive penny stock watch list. A lot of stocks are taking a correction, and a lot of stocks are starting to have a reversal. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.